Welcome to the RIOT podcast.
So there's lots of talk about how hot it gets in the studio, even though it's not very hot.
Well, it's not now.
It's not now.
The temperature's gone down 2 degrees.
72.
That's something.
It's. I just don't want people hearing like us whine about the temperature, because it's not like it's just hot. It's also stuffy. Like, it gets very stuffy in this room. We have a lot of equipment and there's not the best airflow. And then hear all of that. And then we're like, well, gosh, is it like 80, 85 in there? And then we're like, it's 74.
Okay. One, you didn't have to disclose that. Like, you didn't have to.
I didn't have to tell everybody.
Like, if they wanted to, they could imagine us
Theater of the mind.
Like, sweltering. That's up to them. We didn't tell them what it was. That's what they chose to believe. To
where you were worried about our health. You thought it was so hot in here. And it's not. It's just uncomfortable.
Yeah. You know, and that's something
it doesn't take a lot for us to be
Nikki
uncomfortable.
and I prioritize comfort, okay?
We do. Well, if we're going to be in here, I just don't want it to be muggy.
I'm with you. So there is probably what other people would consider an embarrassing amount of discussion in regards to the temperature. There's a lot of that. We get a chance to talk about good old Kim Jong, drug dogs, COVID dogs. I put in Bill Burr in the library. Why not? The feds returning to work. A lot
of people use the word library, but they mean the bathroom. But in this case, this is the actual library.
That's a good point, actually. Let's see. Wonka. Existential dread. Lots more air conditioner talk. Japan in the Olympics. Socks and sandals.
Perfect.
So you guys should enjoy it.
All right. Well, we're leaving the room now.
So it'll be fine.
Because it's colder out there. And
it's a lot colder out there.
I know, especially with the tile. Like, if it got too hot in here, if you just go out there and, like, just feel the tile, it's refreshing.
If you go into the TV studio.
It's cold in there.
Because what Chris has done is he's cranked the air conditioning down in there. So we're going to break that unit in order to try
in order to feed here.
To feed the rest of the place.
Listen, the person's coming Friday. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm fine. Are you fine?
I'm good. Well, I'm leaving the room. I'll be better.
Okay.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot Podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
Well, you know, it just seems fitting that on what is, at least where we are, going to be the hottest day of the year, that at least so far, that the air conditioning is not working.
Spotty. Is it not working at all? I don't know.
I mean, like, it's working some.
Like, it's not unbearable, but normally you have to have the fan running and, like, the door open. But we can't really have the fan running with you guys.
Right, because the whole time you'll just hear...
Just a slight hum that you won't be able to ignore in the background. So I guess it could be worse.
You know what Chris and I should have done yesterday? You come in here, you turn the fans on, we start playing around with the mic processor, you noise gate out just that certain frequency.
No one would notice.
Nobody has to know.
I know.
Nobody has to know.
Would have been nice.
Yeah.
I do feel bad as the day goes on, though.
I think it gets worse.
Well, yeah.
We have it the easiest.
So it's the best it'll be all day, unless someone's coming to work on it today, which I haven't heard.
The other thing to say, though, is that Sydney and Hudson are in bed right now.
It's nice and cold. You're right.
And we're not. So there's a trade-off.
There is. It's true.
They get to sleep in, but they come in and it's warmer.
You know what, though? Now that I just turned the fans off, I miss it.
Oh, totally.
I miss the fans. I miss the noise.
I miss the noise. And I mean, I almost never have a fan over here, though. I mean, I'm not saying I've never had one.
There's just two of them in there.
There's something great about that. Just really gentle moving air.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a lot. Well, just a little. It feels good.
Now, there's two of them. One's farther away. We could always just make the extension cord just do the one. And we could alternate getting up every other, so that we could turn it on and off during the show.
Like, are you sure that if we turned that fan on,
actually, they might not be able to hear that?
Okay, wait.
Okay, you guys
hang on.
Well, I think you have to change the cord. I think they're done together, but no, it works. Well, I can hear it, but I don't know if you guys can.
Hey, can you guys? No, I don't think it's in our headphones. I think it's
just probably only in our headphones, but I don't know if you guys can pick it up.
Wait. Okay, yeah, if I turn it up loud enough.
It sounds like someone's mowing outside.
Well,
And I mean, is that annoying, guys, or what?
Abby says she can't hear it. That's all I need.
Okay, so if anybody else starts to hear the fan, just let us know. Oh, just the gentle hum.
Isn't it nice?
It's relaxing.
Yeah.
Don't say we didn't warn you. This is the worst of the riot.
Went out to lunch yesterday with Chris and Michael of RadioU fame, and we went to what we used to refer to as the wing buffet.
Yeah.
But there's no buffet anymore.
No, it's been a year.
And they no longer do all-you-can-eat wings at lunch.
Oh, they don't?
Only on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesdays. Boy, how much can you cut back, guys?
And how much do you think it costs?
I don't know, maybe...
I'll just tell you this, the price has gone up.
$15? I don't remember what it was. 15, 16?
It used to be $12.
Yeah.
And then you would buy your drink on top of it. And we saw it go up to 13 at one point.
Well, what are they saying about chicken and chicken wings? Like, that is being hard hit by this thing going on.
All you can eat wings and fries.
Yeah.
Tuesdays at lunch.
For
$17.99.
I don't know if you could eat enough to make that worth it.
$18.
$18. You've got to fast on Monday. Or just like do a water thing. Or maybe even the weekend leading up to it to be able to guarantee you can
ready.
eat enough on that Tuesday.
Well, I looked at it and I was like, okay, yesterday, I think my lunch was $19. I did 12 wings, fries, drink. Which it was one of those things where, that's
extravagant, but it's delicious.
Yeah, it was kind of a one-off because I actually thought, I was like, don't go to lunch very often, like ever, pretty much. I mean, maybe hit a Wendy's drive-thru or something, but in reality, I've just been brown bagging it, eating at home kind of thing. And so I thought, no, it'll be great. We'll go out and do lunch. And we used to go out to lunch every day. How did we afford that?
I don't know. I think that's why we all stopped after a while. But you can't actually afford it.
Like, we went to lunch every day, almost. There's that. But then also, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And I don't mean where you're like, oh, yeah, no. I mean, this is a huge restaurant. There are two guys at the bar.
Yeah.
There was us.
Well, maybe Tuesdays would be, like today would have been a busier day for them.
Maybe. I don't know, but it was just bizarre.
Weird.
Yeah,
How are the fries?
They were delicious.
Yeah. And you miss and you want all the people there, but when there's no one else there, your wings come out like extra good. Because they're not rushing them.
Okay. That's another thing I thought is we actually, all three of us kept saying this is really good.
Yeah, they're much better because when you have a buffet and stuff, they're just putting it out. It's a machine.
Just slinging them.
They're just slinging them out, and then they're just sitting up there, or they just have so many, and they're waiting in the back. I think they make them to order at that point, so they're not wasting them.
Well, it was a weird one because all three of us throughout the meal, was just like, man, what is this? Why is this so good? For what it's worth, though, I also got so crazy sick yesterday afternoon.
But you always do. I think that's the
Not
sauce.
Always.
You do.
Don't say always.
After the wing buffet, you almost always. And I think it's the sauce.
There are a couple of sauces. And I actually, one of the sauces I ordered, I was like, wait, is this one of the ones that makes you sick? And I was like,
let's wing it. Let's see what happens.
It's fine. And
it's one of them.
Bro, you should have, the little voice that was talking to you, you really should have listened to it.
It's probably the oil from frying them.
No, I really do think it's certain sauces. Because I figured out that they had a bourbon sauce that was really good. Oh, that is off the list forever.
You're saying that now, but you get back in there.
No. I considered it yesterday, and I was like, dude, don't you dare. I was like, well, I know. I'll go with the one that has the same base.
It's the same sort of sauce.
Great idea.
Aw, well, I'm glad you got to have some wings.
Well, it's good. I mean, I felt like I got the whole experience. Mm-hmm. Like, there wasn't any part of it that was left out.
Can you imagine if you go get wings now, and then you have to go get gas afterwards, like to fill up your car?
That's it for the month.
You're like, I can't afford anything else.
Okay,
and a cup of coffee after.
One last thing I got to tell you. You know how their Diet Mountain Dew always tasted like Windex?
Yeah.
It doesn't anymore.
Really? They just said they didn't care. Like, that was just how it was.
I don't know what they did.
They fixed it. Yeah, well, they got extra time. So.
Maybe they just stopped adding Windex to it, but whatever it is. It tastes right now.
It's because you can't afford the Windex anymore.
Probably not.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know what? You guys remember a certain person that we were not friends with, all right? Not friends with, but somebody that we knew named Kim Jong Un. You remember him, Nikki?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's not like he just hasn't
Hasn't
heard
been
a lot
much
from this guy.
We got enough going on that I think he went down on the list of concerns.
He's just like, you know what, guys, I'm out. That's it for me. Geez, no. Well, Nikki, he's back in the news because he's making, I love this. He's making some pronouncements in North Korea, you know, a couple things that he's like, you know what, that's enough.
Yeah.
We're done with this. Tight jeans are out.
Really? Well, I mean, they are here. Do you know how like skinny jeans went out and you're supposed to have more of a wider flare? So that's kind of a worldwide trend, Obi.
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree with you, but you know, that's a conclusion that we all reach on our own.
I didn't think they would wear, skinny jeans anyways.
Well, they do. He's been out there. He says, you know, one of the things you got to be aware of is, I'll just give you the quote. Translated from the best language. We must be wary of even the slightest sign of the capitalistic lifestyle and fight to get rid of them. Of course,
that's not skinny jeans.
History teaches us a crucial lesson that a country can become vulnerable and eventually collapse like a damp wall, regardless of its economic and defense power, if we don't hold to our lifestyle.
Dude, you ushered in more problems with your love for cheese than skinny jeans ever did.
This guy, I think it really comes down to, like, if I can't wear skinny jeans,
I know, then no one can. I think that's how the whole country's run.
There's one more, Nikki. Also, the mullet has been banned.
Oh, really? Well, you know, in North Korea, you are supposed to wear, like, there's only so many hairstyles you're supposed to have.
They, let's see, the tyrant has, there are 15 official haircuts.
Yeah. Have you ever seen, like, there's a poster when you walk in and it's just showing you all the men and women haircuts that they're allowed to do. And that's it. That's all you can get.
That is crazy. I can't even fathom that, like, somebody wanting that level of control. And by that, I mean this. Is it like, on the one hand, can't imagine living where there's that much control. Yeah. And on the other, like, why would I want to tell you how to wear your hair?
I don't know.
Why?
That's how you have control.
Do you think I have the mental bandwidth? I barely notice what your hair looks like, let alone that I would create a standard whereby I would walk around going,
not allowed to wear that.
It's amazing. That is amazing. Not in a good way. Not in a good way.
It's the Worst of the Riot on RadioU.
I don't suppose this is actually really funny, but since we're at a distance, it's okay for us to have a little chuckle. So I'm sorry, I'm laughing at this mugshot. There is a mugshot of this guy. I don't know what it is, but he's
something about it has really struck a chord with you. He's just like, hey.
I didn't mean it.
And it's not like normally when we say bad mugshot, like, you know, they look really, really bad. And like, it doesn't seem like he's that far along in some of these problems, but enough to where he has been arrested.
He's sad.
He's very sad. And his hair and just his lips and his eyes, everything just has this look.
He's communicating sadness. So here's my question, though, is how strong or how, like, great the quantity of drugs you must have if the drug sniffing dog passes out while they're smelling your drugs.
Is that what happened to the dog?
The dog is just like, I'm so wasted.
Well, they say that the canine officer named Candy, with a K, collapsed during the vehicle search. Apparently, there was a severe reaction to something that she had encountered, and she kind of collapsed.
Whoa.
So wait. Okay, the officer with him had to administer then a dose of Narcan. Is that how you say it with the vet? So the dog had to have the revival drug.
Because
there was something in the car. Man, that must have been some strong stuff.
Whoa.
That's poor dog.
I'll just tell you right now, that's probably why that guy looks like he's crying.
Well,
he's
he's got something.
I didn't hurt your dog, man. I didn't hurt your dog. I didn't do it.
You don't want to hurt the police officer, but I'll tell you what, you also don't want to hurt the dog.
Hey, that dog is an officer.
Yeah, you're right.
Not great.
They say that they became argumentative, they were not cooperating, and they've been taken away and identified.
Yeah, so.
And they had, a couple of them had active warrants. That's a shock.
There's a lot of bad things in this, but again, to me, it comes down to a great mugshot, and I don't want to be on the other side of the arrest where the dog got so wasted just from smelling the inside of the car.
Sure, the dog needed saved.
What the heck, dude? What are you trafficking in there? And by the way, are you taking that? Because it just almost killed the dog.
And guess what? The car was stolen too. So you got everything.
You know what? Oh, if I was them, I would be like, okay, all right, okay. We stole the car, but we didn't know there were drugs in it.
Well, yeah, that would have been a good. But
I mean, I steal cars, sure, but drugs, that's a dirty business.
So they say that it seems like Candy's doing okay, but did have that severe reaction and had to be saved.
What the what? Well, you know what?
I didn't know dogs would react the same way. I guess it makes sense, but I've seen plenty of videos of like officers having to be given that to save them, but not the dog.
Me either.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. We're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
So it looks like your friend and mine, Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon, and was there anybody else that's going to be doing it? They're welcoming audiences back this, like in June?
Yeah.
But you have to be vaccinated to go back.
Yeah, they're doing welcoming full vaccinated audiences starting.
So that means no social distancing, like whatever.
I'm not sure how they'll treat it. It could be like the airline stuff where you have social distancing leading up to the plane, but then when you're in the plane, you're all next to each other. So it could be maybe social distancing when you're outside going in, and then once you're sitting there, it could be a full audience.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out, right? So it's hard to know because in the article, they are showing you photos where you're like, okay, now wait a minute. How old is that photo?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. But they've had limited studio audiences for a while, but it seems that they're going to be going like full blown back.
And this is following Jimmy Kimmel, who said last month that he would also be bringing back a vaccinated audience.
So what do you think they do? Do they just ask?
No, I think you would have to show.
Do you have to show them?
I think you would have to show them.
That's what I would like to know.
Yeah, probably.
How do you make that distinction? Do you have to show up with your...
You probably have to... Well, can you upload a copy or something like when you're applying for tickets? Or if you get tickets, I don't know how you do that privacy-wise.
I'll tell you what we need. We all need to take a mark of loyalty to the vaccine. And that way...
That way they just know.
We can show it.
I wonder, does that mean they'll have more... have they been having guests still?
Yeah.
They've been having them in person?
Yeah. I mean, you'll notice...
or a mixture, maybe?
Who did I watch the other day that was on Fallon? And, they were still sitting a decent... distance
away?
Apart.
Yeah.
But they were still in the same room, which I thought was cool. Though, yes, of course, they did some of those things where it was distance.
So I'm not looking at Fallon's, I can't find his exact date, but it might be the same. Stephen Colbert said that they're going for a June 14th return for a full studio audience.
Yeah, the Fallon stuff I saw just said June. Mm-hmm. So I don't know exactly when that'll be. That'll be exciting. I'll look forward to them talking to John Cena about his...
They're not going to talk to him about that.
You don't think they will?
See our earlier conversation.
Oh.
But I do wonder, when you probably, for them, they feed off the applause and the energy from an audience, and to not have that audience for so long, and to a lot of times not have the actual physical guest in with them, it was probably a very different experience to then go back to having now people around that might be a little bit awkward at first.
Oh, that would be...
It'd be weird.
Either way, it would be tough. Nikki and I have done our show in front of people before, and I know with TVU's Most Wanted, there were a couple of times that we had an audience. And these are shows that we do without people around. And I will tell you, putting people in the room when I was not used to having people around was
way different, but I'm sure they're looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, they both say they're really looking forward to having people back.
So if you're into watching late night shows, they should be expecting vaccinated only audiences in the middle of June.
Yeah, so that's great. I mean, I'm still not watching, but
you won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
We're actually going to be changing our name sometime later today. We will be known as The Heat.
It's getting on the studio.
It's going to be our new thing. So, I'll just come out like, it's The Heat on Radio U.
So, the air conditioning in our studio is not working. And
it's going to be the hottest day so far.
And so, what the approach is until the person comes to fix it, may he come soon.
I heard Friday.
We just have our doors open with a bunch of fans. But when we're with you guys, we cannot have all the fans on.
We could have the fans on.
You can hear it. I especially think our podcast listeners can hear it. I'm not even feeling it. Like it needs to come in more if we're going to.
This is why Nikki runs the board and takes care of things. Like, I am not a professional. I'm just like, yeah, hey guys, you hear the fan?
Good.
So what?
That's it. That's what it is.
The fan's on.
Well, I don't think
you'll live.
I know,
that's how I feel. Whereas Nikki's like, oh, if they hear the fan,
it's just going to be annoying, and I want you guys to turn off.
Nikki, wait. How do you feel when you hear the fan?
Well, I feel nice, but it's right here. I don't know if they would feel the same way from their car or podcast spots.
I love the sound of the fan so much. I'm plugging it in my ears to sleep at night.
Feel like we need to bring the fan closer and make it more noticeable, like to really have the effect. But we've gone up 2 degrees in an hour.
Yeah, we have.
It's warm.
I'm glistening just a tiny bit. Like,
yeah. You are. I can see it. I can see it on the floor.
Just a little. But you know what? It's great. I feel great. I'm excited about the stale air in the studio.
I almost told you to open a window. I was like, no, don't.
Never mind.
Wait, I take it back.
Actually, you know what? We could, if you look at the outside temperature, we could open a window for now.
We could. Jim said turn on the fan. We could during the song. Maybe we'll take 1 or 2 songs. We're going to turn the fan on.
You don't understand, Jimmy.
We're going to open the windows and we can. Everybody always says flush it out. Flush out the heat.
No, but I think our better bet would be to shut the studio door
and keep it in.
Open the windows.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want to do is we want to steal any more air from that big room back there. So we just cut it off. Like, it's ambient temperature outside is, let's see, 7 degrees cooler than it is in this room right now?
Could be a good idea. Nicole, you guys are so sweet. Says, can't hear any fan. Be comfortable, guys. We don't have the fan on right now. That's why you guys can't.
See, and I just love, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, Nikki's like, no way. And I probably need to care more about stuff.
What's going to happen? We're hot for a few hours. It's okay. I mean, that's probably a good sweat for us.
They probably like hearing us talk about being hot more than they like than the fan, right?
I think so.
Yeah, man, I don't care. I'm just like, I'm not saying I don't care about you guys, but I don't care. I care about my comfort over yours.
Is at that point.
I prioritize myself over you. That makes me a bad person.
No, I have a perfect idea. Bring the fan over here and put it on the table so it's close enough to us. So then when we do need to talk, we just reach over and turn it off that way. Then no one's getting up.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
You can just kind of shuffle your chair.
Let's see if the extension cord's long enough.
You ready? All right, but are you ready for this?
Yeah.
You see, there's a fan over there. All right, you're going to love this. Okay. That fan has 2 fans on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Only one of the fans works.
It's your side, isn't it?
Yep. That's right. And, we could have replaced it. We could have replaced it, but it was like, we don't need to replace it. It's fine. One of the fans still works.
Sometimes that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh, man.
I just need the fan.
It's so funny, but
all
it's
right,
true.
It is. It's the other one. No, we can pull it back a little farther enough on the table. I'm
so
sure
that we can share the fan.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, let's go see what we got.
Still want to open the windows?
I'm afraid to do that. I don't know.
You don't have to be afraid.
It's a hot heat outside.
It's not yet. Not yet. Soon. See, what I think is, I don't think you know how hot it is in here.
I know it's getting hotter. It's getting hotter.
So I've spent the last
Let's stop talking. That's actually what's causing it. It's our hot air.
Yeah, it is.
Think of it as athleisure for your ears. Radio U's Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki fixed it. Don't worry.
I got it. It's fine. And the room is cooling down as we speak, isn't it?
I feel it. Like when we had the fan on, it wasn't. It was nice.
Yeah. Okay. So then we're.
Wait, okay. Can we just do this one more time? Will you turn the fan on right now?
Yeah,
I want you guys see if you guys.
Well, we'll be able to hear this because
maybe not. Yeah. Remember, your side doesn't work.
Yeah,
So-
they can hear that.
Maybe not.
If we turn it up louder, it sounds like we're on one of those alligator boats. Like
Perfect.
We're the Everglades.
Yeah, but okay, then let's do the whole show in character, like we're on a boat.
I don't know what character that would be.
No, we just keep every once in a while. We're just like, whoa! Those waves are getting bigger every day.
After the show, I'm going to ask Chris to order us a new double-sided fan because the fact that the side of the fan that's broke is my fan is really upsetting. It's the one. Of course it would be.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I just I can tell you. I know this is true. That when it broke, we were at an event, and I came back and I was like, "Hey guys." Just this one side works, we need to get a new one, whatever. And it was like, why would we replace the broken thing?
Well, we could bring in the other fan. We have others, but this is what we got. So, all
See,
right.
look at that. 1, 2, 3, can't hear the fan.
You guys are so nice. I'm more worried about our podcast.
You think they're all lying?
Oh, no. But I think I'm more worried about our podcast listeners later because I think if headphones, you can hear the fans.
Here's something, you guys. You want to know something? Like we process the audio in the room, but it goes off to the transmitter where it gets processed again.
To you guys in your cars.
The concern is that while on the radio right now, you may not hear it. So what we need to hear is from App Nation. You guys are not getting...
They're turned off, so now would not be the time. I just turned it back off.
See, like Wonka Mr. Bean, he says, listening with headphones, can't hear it. Nikki, just let it go.
Just let it go. Just have the fans on.
She can't.
I can't do it. I'll turn it off and on in between the songs. All right, I'll do it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's making me hotter by arguing about it. We're just going to do it.
I'm enjoying seeing the true deep down struggle that you're having.
It's fine. I will reach over and turn the fan off and on so that your side gets the air while it gets hotter over here.
Dakota, I'm listening with headphones. I can't hear. I'm on the app.
Thank you. It's fine. Look, this is the paper edition. Can you hear that?
Maybe not.
No.
It's fine.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, can you help me for a minute? Why are they making another Willy Wonka movie?
I didn't catch that part. Hollywood say, well, why not? Why shouldn't we have another one? But they were just talking about casting news for apparently a new Warner Brothers Wonka movie.
So, okay, you've got the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971.
Mm-hmm.
Then you end up with the Johnny Depp one, which was 2005.
They say 34 years later. Is that really the only two Chocolate Factory movies?
I think so. Willy Wonka.
Outside of if there's a non-licensed, not official version.
We got, okay. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Mm-hmm. No, these are books. Okay, let's go to movies. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, 1971. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, 2005. There's a Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Really? We haven't seen that. Just a shock.
And then there is Wonka, which is the one they're working on right now.
That one, Wonka, will be released, they say March 17th, 2023, the third adaptation. It'll be around a young Wonka and his upbringing before the Chocolate Factory. And they have casted Timothy Chalamet as Wonka. Yes. Any thoughts on that? Are you processing? I guess it doesn't seem like they've used Wonka and like had a ton of movies. I mean, I guess it's time.
Well, that's the part that gets me is if you ask me when the Johnny Depp one came out, I'd be like last week. It just seems like
no, I think it's way older than that.
It's 16 years old.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they're not abusing, I feel like, this franchise.
Oh, don't worry, they will.
They will. Just wait and see.
Does anybody want to know about the young Wonka adventures?
Well, how did he get the chocolate factory? How did that come about?
You know what? It's the same way that like when it comes to like the Bruce Wayne Batman thing. Yes, I will give you that the Batman training montage can be interesting. Mm-hmm. That's a fascinating thing. But you're like, here's Bruce Wayne playing with his trains when he was 6 years old. You're like, ooh.
This is an origin story.
I can't wait to watch this. I'm so excited. So it's fine. You know what? It's fine. It's going to be great. I'm excited. I didn't see any of the other ones. I'll be excited to not see this one.
You've not seen the original? No? For all your movie watching? You've never seen Willy Wonka?
Nope.
And you haven't seen, I've not seen the Johnny Depp one, but I think that's streaming in places.
Willy Wonka is... Okay, here it comes.
Everybody just get ready. What's wrong with Willy Wonka?
I'll tell you exactly what's wrong with it. When I was a kid, all these people are like, you got to watch Willy Wonka. You got to watch Willy Wonka. I love Willy Wonka. So you know what I did?
Don't watch Willy Wonka.
Screw you and your Willy Wonka.
But then you watch every other movie.
I know.
So I think by now you could be okay with it.
When I come back around to it?
Swing back around to it on a movie night.
I just can't. Just can't.
Well, maybe wait until Wonka itself. So that one, like I said, is coming out or supposedly coming out in March of 2023 with Warner Brothers.
You know what, Nikki? That'll be what does it for me. A
young Willy Wonka.
That's going to be what does it for me. I'm going to see Wonka in 2023.
Well, wait until then.
I got 2 years.
Watch the other two movies.
And then I'll either see it and be so enamored with the character, I'll go back to the other two, or in order to prepare myself for this sequel, I'll read all the books, watch the movies, get the haircut, be ready to go.
So Tim said, don't watch the Johnny Depp one. It's bad. Luke said, proof they're running out of ideas. Luke, we've got other examples of them running out of ideas. They've long ago run out of stuff.
Well, this is just one. Just one more.
One more.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Last night, I heard a new standard for knowledge that I just couldn't help but laugh about it. You guys know who Bill Burr is? I watched part of his interview with Conan O'Brien last night.
Yeah.
It was like 20 minutes long. I didn't watch the whole thing, though I thought I might come back to it. Really interesting listening to him talk about his temper, learning to deal with it, figuring out, like going to therapy, finding out where his temper comes from, like all this stuff.
Bill Burr's a comedian.
Yes, he's a comedian, and he's well known for being honest.
Not everyone's taste.
He's not for everyone. But
those that like him and that's their taste absolutely love him.
I love something he said. He was like, my new thing is if somebody wants to explain something to me, I ask them if they learned about it at the library. And if they didn't learn about it at the library, I don't want to hear about it.
Because, like, if someone just learned it on YouTube or something?
Exactly.
He doesn't want that?
No. He's like, because you go, this is a great point. But he's like, you go to the library, they at least divide things into fiction and nonfiction. He's like, you go online, it's just a free-for-all. You don't even know what's going on. And his point, and I thought this was funny, is like, when I was a kid growing up, he's like, nobody was seriously believed the earth was flat. He's like, 5 years after the internet's invented, it's everywhere. And I was like, dude, yeah,
good point.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the library. Let's see if we can learn something in there. It's crazy.
Oh, that's clever.
So, and he's got, I don't know. I really enjoyed what he had to say because I thought about it. I was like, yeah, right. Go to the library. Did they care enough to write a book that someone was willing to publish? At least it's been through a couple people's hands.
But now, we can all say who hasn't watched a YouTube video and come out the other end being like, well, I could actually kind of see that. Maybe that is possible.
I'm not going to name any names.
Maybe it's flat.
I'm not going to name any names, but I got a video yesterday from a family member that I watched and they were like, what do you think about this? And I was just like, do you seriously want me to give you like an informed response on this piece of utter nonsense? And so we talked about it. And admittedly, I love a good conspiracy theory. You know that I do. But I really, really like Bill Burr's idea for...
And a lot of us are like, wait, where's the library? Which is why you wouldn't be having any of these.
I get it. But I just love the idea like, hey, I am not going to engage with your idea unless you learned about it from a book. If you learned it online,
Not going to.
I'm not going to listen to what you have to say. Admittedly, it's not the most practical way to get through life. I get that. But man, he's kind of onto something there, right? Right? Okay, maybe you don't think so. Boy, I do. Like there's something there.
This is RadioU's Worst of the Riot.
Nikki, looks like President Biden is considering allowing federal employees to telework permanently.
All the time?
All the time. Just stay home. I need to come in.
No problem.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, I do wonder. I mean, we're getting closer. A lot of bigger companies said summertime or like especially August seems to be when if you have to go back, you're probably going to have to be back by. If not, you would know by then if you'd be able to stay home on every so many days or all the time.
I could see the whole idea of like, hey, a couple days a week you could work from home. But like at some point, nobody wants to hear this. But like at some point, you got to get face to face with somebody.
Yeah, you have to.
Like you just have to. I mean, at some point, you have got to sit in a room with somebody. Or after a while, it's like, what are you even doing? Who are you emailing?
Well, there's been a lot of interesting articles about you not being in the office and working or being in class with other people takes away a bit of drive and motivation that you would have had when you're surrounded by people.
Sure.
That just naturally happens. And it's not the best. It doesn't mean you have to be there every day to experience it. But you do need to see other people.
I just think it's... okay.
Even though you don't want to go back.
No, of course not. But we went out yesterday and had lunch. And it was the first time, like, I feel like it's the first time I went out to lunch in a while.
And you missed it.
Oh, totally. It was so fun to go out to lunch. I was like, remember when we had fun? This is fun.
But you were fine. But then once you realized you were missing it, you missed that feeling.
Yeah. But we were sitting there and just looking around, like there's nobody there. Like I went to a couple of stores. There's nobody out there. And I'm like, you know what? At some point, somebody somewhere is going to have to kick us out of our houses because we're just staying in. Like something's got to happen. Something's got to give. Like at some point, don't we have to? Maybe we don't have to go back. Maybe we just stay home and get those floaty chairs from Wally. Maybe that's what we should do. But
everybody's probably different. Everybody's job, everybody's classes, everybody's different.
Yeah. So, I'm just looking here that like apparently the federal government is looking at a review in which they're saying like, you know what? Let's see if we can have what they're calling maximum flexibility.
I forget which company it was, but one yesterday or the day before put its news out and they used the word of like a mandatory coming back for everybody. No exceptions, no questions, no options. And I feel like that one must hurt the most.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, we're not even going to talk about it. They're like, nope, you're coming back.
Can't we meet for the...
we can meet inside the building because you're coming back for that meeting.
I have a friend of mine who I guess it's technically still spring, but like in February, they were like, hey, next year, hybrid model, a couple days home, couple days, whatever. And then 2-3 weeks ago, they got an email that was just like, everyone's back. That's all.
That's it. That's all you get. Get back in here.
Get in here.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
So we were talking moments ago about President Biden and his administration was talking about the idea of as federal employees are returning to the office, allowing some people to work from home permanently, some people to go to an in-between hybrid model, whatever. But I can't help but get the feeling that the time is coming when whoever's the boss of society, or maybe it's the bosses, but they're all going to be like, break time's over.
everybody come back.
Get your butt back in here.
Well, I think everybody's excited about, like, say, with all the vaccine talk, then everybody's like, well, that means everything opens back up. But they got to realize the other side of the coin is classes and work can also work back or open back up for you.
So some people texted in. Kyle says, I just hope curbside doesn't go away because now I'm too lazy to go inside to shop.
Kyle, you are so right. Like, we just can't. Let's not change the food stuff because that's a really comfortable place right now. I can't go in anymore.
Not just that, the Best Buy thing has been all right because, like, they don't open until 11, but curbside opens at 10.
You just drive by and they throw it in your car.
Yeah, it's like there's this element of lazy, but then it's also like, if I went into the store, it would take me an hour to get this stupid thing. And here you guys are just running it out to my car. Fantastic.
DL. So, Kyle, we agree with you on that.
Jeff says, as a federal employee who has had to go in every day of the pandemic, I am 100% on board with the rest of my coworkers staying home forever.
Because he likes it quiet.
I love that.
I thought he would say, he was, wanting people to come back in because he's lonely. No, he doesn't want you guys back.
No, Aaron says, my company isn't opening the building until Labor Day. We've had a lot of success with working from home and have had a hybrid model of working from home, but a few days at the office for years before COVID. So she's saying they were kind of already doing that. Zach says, my employer did the same thing. They said it'll be September, and then it was next week.
Oh, they bringing people back in earlier. Oh,
you're back, baby. You're back. Robbie says the bosses of society are the ones that are cooped up indoors and don't want to leave their houses. Maybe. I don't know. Like, the rough thing for me is I mentioned this to some friends yesterday where I'm like, I'm having a hard time getting like the lay of the land where people are because, for us, we never stopped coming to work. In fact, because I work here and, some of the other things that I do and like, I never stopped. I've been going the whole time, except when I actually had COVID. But hey, I still telecommuted, right? So I don't know. Like it's hard for me to know. I just know that society's not back because even though I've seen traffic pick up, it's still not the same.
Still not the same, but I think we can all agree on that. Some of the stuff doesn't have to go back though. So we just remember the food, the curbside pickup, the delivery stuff. We're going to keep all that just right where it is.
Okay, so Nikki, this feels like a phone-in topic on a Dr. Phil talk show, but Nikki, as we move out of the pandemic.
Sure.
What is something that you would like to carry forward with you from this experience?
From all this? I don't need to do much. I'm meaning like some of the stuff that they want to bring back. Like, I don't really know if I feel like going to the movie theaters anymore. I might not want to travel anymore. I might be done.
Maybe I'm good.
I know, which is going to be scary for the people that want to have everybody come back to it.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
It's time for a studio temperature update.
You want a temperature check?
Take a look. We're up another degree.
We are, but I feel like it feels colder in here. The AC's broken, and it's a game to get it to feel cool enough in here, compared to like during the rest of the day today when you can maybe open up more stuff when the building's more open. But we have the windows open. We have a fan going on in the room like next to us. I feel like that's doing actually a really good job.
Yeah. Okay.
Or we're getting so hot that we're turning cold, like your body's shutting down.
I mean, I did. The joke I want to make is I want to say that we just got done talking to somebody who's clearly been dead for a while.
Oh.
But all I can think of are historical figures, and it just doesn't seem as funny. It's just not
right. I gotcha.
It's like weird, like I've spent the last 5 minutes talking to Abraham Lincoln. He says it feels great in here.
I also don't know why. Like it's only 74. We should be fine at 74.
No,
like we're not up to where it's worrisome levels of heat in this room. It's 74.
I'll just tell you right now, there are tons of things in this world that are like privileged stuff where I'd be like, you know what? It's fine. Okay, I can live without this. I can live without that. But the two things that I'm just like, no.
We're not fighting on.
I want air conditioning and I want hot water.
Those are the two?
I can give up my ketchup. All right. There's a lot of things I could give up. In fact, I would go so far as to say I could give up my phone. before I would give up the air conditioner.
The air conditioning, well, we're just making it work. The guy's supposed to come on Friday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just a few more days.
What's today's Thursday?
No, today's Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. You were saying, though, that some places were like, yeah, we'll see you in July. So
Chris,
add to the list of things that are hard to come by with like chicken wings and good gas prices and cheap coffee and stuff. Add to it some AC repair.
Hey, it's real. And I was... Chris, yesterday, I heard him make phone call after phone call.
Trying to find somebody.
Yep, trying to make that work. And the best that we could do was this Friday.
I bet it's just because of lack of people. There's just not everybody out there and busy.
That. Also, there's a kind of a temperature spike here over the last few days. And so a lot of times what happens is people haven't turned their air conditioner on all winter. They turn it on for the first time to find out it's broken.
They all have that problem at the same time, so everybody's out there working on stuff.
They recommend that you turn your air on early, like
earlier
April,
in the spring,
right, to see that it's working, because if it's not, then you can get serviced then.
Well, may we add that reminder to our own building here, because it's not working.
It's fine.
No problem. It actually doesn't feel too bad right now.
Okay.
It's not. Are you okay over there? You don't see. Well, you're sweating a little bit, but the lights are bright on you, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not, you actually. I'll turn the fan back on.
No, you know what? Like, you don't have to. It's okay.
Actually, you really can tell the longer the fan's off, it really does start to get a lot warmer.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm just like, hey, let's keep it stagnant. Let's keep
stale.
Let the air just sit and bake.
Murky, just really bad.
Yeah. I think
okay, we can do that too if you want.
That's the
Open
way.
the windows up bigger. Just open them all the way up.
Great idea.
Let the hot air in.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Something that I've been thinking about quite a bit over the last few weeks is, like, what makes us worthwhile? Am I worth something past what I contribute? Like, I'm on the riot. I'm contributing to society. If all of a sudden I found myself sitting in the parking lot, not contributing, what am I worth at that point? Am I worth something? Am I worth nothing? What about people that can't contribute anything? Or how about this? Like, what if, like, the job that you're doing day to day, do you ever feel that kind of existential sense of dread where you're like, it's like closing in on you? I know what that's like, right? Maybe I just have a problem. But when I sit down to reason these things out, I have not been able to find what I consider to be a reasonable or rational answer. When I just engage my intellect and nothing else, it actually gets real dark, real fast. But here's the thing. What I have found relief in and what I have found an answer in is in a person and not in a, logical presentation. In my relationship with God, I have found relief for existential dread. I have found value in day to day. You're like, well, that's not really an answer. Well, maybe not everything can be answered with an argument. Maybe there is more to human experience than me being able to give you 10 bullet points to, logically answer something. I have found my relief and my meaning in my relationship with Jesus. I think that I could write that out and it could make some sense, but I'm just telling you that it has been an experiential relief of spending time with God and finding peace in that space and in that relationship and meaning in that space that moves past what I do, who I am, what degree I can hang on the wall, whatever. There's something in there that has made everything out here worthwhile. So if, like me, existential dread is just a part of your day to day, I just want you to know that there is relief and that God does care about you. And again, maybe it doesn't compute when you sit down and you start adding it up. All I know is that it's real and it has worked for me in my relationship with God. If you want to know what that's like, why not just start and say, Jesus, I want to know your way. I want to know what you're about. I want you to come into my life and I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want you to give me what you are giving Obadiah. I don't often like to say, do what I'm doing, but you know what? I'm just telling you that's where I'm finding what I'm looking for. So Seriously.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got their stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I don't know what to make of it, honestly, but here we go. The CDC and the health department. I don't know who that is. Is that like the federal health department?
It must be.
Okay. In the State Department, they're saying not to go to Japan because COVID there is rampant.
So they're saying that they've warned against traveling. Japan has gone back and forth, similar to other countries where it's the different variants that come in. And with COVID, their medical system, they say, is collapsing as well with the same stuff that you hear, hospitals being too crowded, that they just cannot handle bringing in more people, and they can't handle what could be potentially the outcome of that if COVID had another increase with it.
Yeah, so they are saying that just kind of like we have been at different parts, and again, it's regional, so I mean, not everybody in the country experienced this, but in several parts of Japan where their hospitals are very full, ventilators are becoming an issue, different things like that. And so now the CDC is saying don't go there for the Olympics. What?
Well, I didn't think you could go anyways.
I didn't think so either.
Again, depends on where you're at, but I didn't think Japan was allowing any, like you're not allowed to go in for travel to go to the Olympics. I think they were just leaving it at. But the problem is it's not just traveling, but what if you are family or the athletes themselves?
Right.
That's just as much of an issue going in. The Olympics might be just too big of a thing. Like with sporting events.
To fail? Yes, it's too big to fail, Nikki.
It's too big of an event, they say, to ever return in its capacity in the future. Like it just might not be a possible event to have for a long time. Maybe not ever, but I mean, it could just be a while. It could be a long time.
You know what? I just feel like maybe I'm hearing a lot of anti-Olympics propaganda.
I don't care about the Olympics. I think there's a lot to the Olympics. There's a lot of.
We've gone from hinting to just straight up letting it be known.
Now, for the athletes and stuff, that's one thing, but there's a lot of money in the Olympics, so I don't think they would ever end up truly going away, but they're just not sure. They're supposed to start on July 23rd if in Japan, in that area, if they can just deal with that.
Yeah, well, that's the word. They're saying don't go. And as Nikki, you know what?
I've been vocal about that before.
I just want you guys to know this is just her way of dealing with it.
Because I never was invited?
No, she's just been so excited about the Olympics and she wanted to go so badly. Now with the way things are going.
It doesn't look like I can.
Now she's like, I hate the Olympics. It's stupid. I never wanted to go anyway.
Well, there's been a big controversy.
I hate you and everything you like.
No, there's been a big controversy with, people in Japan because you got a lot of money and stuff riding on it. And so can you cancel it again? Can you postpone it again? But then they want the safety of the citizens there to be important. So that seems to be a back and forth conversation that they're still having.
I don't know. We'll see, Nikki.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I feel like Nikki, what are you doing today? Like, are you busy? Could you spend the entire day just hanging out with me, maybe walking in front of me?
Why do I need to walk in front of you?
Well, here's what I want to do.
To protect you from something?
Well, okay. Yeah, I like that too. So please bring your gun. But no, the idea is that right now, okay, I talked about it on the show yesterday. I hurt my toe.
Oh, yeah.
It's my
and it's a real hurt. You know how sometimes you're like, oh, is it? But it was a real hurt, and it still really hurts.
It's waking me up.
It's real.
Like last night, I don't know what the heck I did to it, but I woke up like, ah!
Well, do you need to go see the doctor?
I'm basically going to take a look at it today, and if it's like, okay, like I'm going to have to go get some pills so my toe don't fall off.
If not, the second sometimes you actually schedule something or go there, it'll immediately stop hurting, and then you look like the fool.
I know.
Who came because of something with their toe.
Oh, little baby wants to come and get his toe looked at,
Wasting the time from everybody else who needs the doctor.
Yeah. Now, this is why I'm asking you this, is that today I felt like I needed to put socks on because it seemed dumb to me that I have this very large cut on my toe. I have what do they call those little They're
bandages?
Well, no, they're not stitches, but they're like
liquid glue sort of stuff.
They hold them together. It's like stitches, but it's a Band-Aid kind of thing.
Snitches? What? What did you do? Did you snitch on someone? Is this what happened?
I did it again.
You got cut and then cut your toe.
I did. But I put those like the Steris strips, I think they call them. Those, and like I got a Band-Aid on it and all this crap. And I was like, I'll put a sock on it. That'll at least keep it even more insulated.
Yeah.
But then shoes hurt my feet so badly.
No, it's good you wore slides.
All right. So I'm walking around today with what?
Socks and Oh, you're wearing socks and sandals.
So that's why I
thought you did anyways.
No.
I thought you did.
No.
I mean, sometimes you say you don't care.
Well, even I have standards. Even those who care not have a standard somewhere.
Who cares anymore? Wear socks and shoes. Who cares?
I just feel like maybe if you could maybe volunteer to spend the day walking in front of me, and then anytime somebody gets closer, like he has a toe thing, and so he had to wear the socks and sandals.
No, what you need to do, though, and this is what's still popular, because, you just wear sandals and stuff, pull your socks up and, like, make them really noticeable. Then it's a fashion choice. Then it's not I
don't even have any socks like that.
That pull up? Oh, no. Yours are shorter? I
have, like, the disappear ankle sock, whatever thing, the hidden sock. That's all I got.
Listen, no one's paying attention.
You know what? Here's the bottom line. Whether they saw my sandals or my face first, whichever one it was, they'd be like, you know what?
He doesn't care.
I don't even care about this guy anyway. I mean,
no, it's smarter that you're wearing that. You want to, not put that in the shoe. That would end up hurting so much.
It hurts. To wear a shoe. So,
let me see. Hang on. Let me look. You look fine with them. It doesn't even look weird at all. It doesn't even look weird.
You know what it is? It's my confidence.
Is it?
It's my confidence and my charisma.
Actually, I think because it is shorter socks, it blends in more.
Okay.
It just looks like a shoe. You're fine.
Well, I'm going to spend
socks and sandals.
I'm spending the next day or two like this. So you know what?
Can I tell you what's going to happen though? You're never going to go back. Never going to go back to shoes unless you have to.
Oh man, I hope my toe's okay. I need it.
Go see the doctor then.
I want my toe to be okay.
Go see the doctor so he can see you for something else besides a sinus thing. I think he'd really appreciate it.
I think my toe's fine, but I just feel like we only ever talk about my nose.
Yes.
So, like, how are you?
Can
are you
come
okay?
In? He's probably wondering.
I brought you some coffee and, like, here's some churros.
The Riot Radio U.
Well, hello there.
They look pretty good.
They look pretty good. So here's the word. Orange County, California, birthplace of the Supertones.
You've got Irvine and in Orange County.
So that is technically, excuse me.
So your phone's excited.
It's actually not my phone. It was my desktop, laptop. Anyway, so that is apparently the home of Chipotle. Their corporate headquarters there.
Well, they're in Newport Beach.
And what happens is that when your headquarters are somewhere, sometimes in the area, they might try a little something out. And so there is a Chipotle in the Newport Beach area that is serving churros.
Oh, I love a good churro.
Man,
especially
they're so good.
I don't know if they still do it now, but the Del Taco used to have this churro pack with a chocolate dipping sauce.
Come on.
And when they give you the chocolate dipping sauce, I think that takes it. I don't even know if it's real chocolate. Like, who cares? It's just, it's all trash, but it's just delicious.
Nikki, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What is real chocolate anyway?
I don't think it was cacao or like anything like that. It's probably not even real cocoa beans. So it's just, they want to make sure that there's no allergies, no nothing.
What's more important, Nikki? The fact that it's real or that you believe it's
affordable.
Real?
I want it to be affordable, so that usually means it's not. They say if you want to taste test and try the new Chipotle churros, that it can only be ordered from a couple of those locations there via the Chipotle app. It comes in a pack of 3. They're vegan, and that's about it. So
according to Food Beast, which is the blog we're looking at right now, they say that they are not the best churros ever, but they're better than a Disneyland churro.
They're mini churros. It's a blend of an Indonesian and Vietnamese cinnamon, and they say they smell really good.
Oh, dude, I'm in. So
nice. I wonder if Costco's churros back.
It's not.
It's not.
I was at Costco yesterday, and was it yesterday or 2 days? Whatever it was, no churros.
Those are good every so often. I don't feel like they're always the best, but churros are good.
I don't feel like I've ever had a bad
Sometimes they're just a little too burnt.
Costco. Like, I mean, I've had some that weren't as good, but it's still been like, for what the $1 I paid for this churro,
I know. Who
we're
cares
doing
then?
pretty well for ourselves.
But if you can get one fresh, I think that's the problem.
Sure.
If they sit for a while, if you get a fresh churro, again with some chocolate dipping sauce, right there.
You know what? I'm glad we don't have those.
Because we couldn't say no.
It's just better that we don't.
We have cupcakes and snack cakes in our break room. We have our own temptations here.
Oh, I just had a bagel.
So if you are interested, again, it's only in Orange County that they're testing the Chipotle Churro to see what people think.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no, I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
What the fripp is going on right now?